We all know that everybody learns at different paces. That is why this tutorial is going to allow you to go at your own pace. I strongly suggest that you pause this as often as needed, rewind it, replay it, because you are going to be responsible for having the entire essay done by the end of next class period. Now that I've proven who Miss Strangeworth is from the beginning to the end, and I've proven that her interactions aren't so fantastic, I'm ready for body paragraph 2, where I'm going to talk about whether or not she's a complex character. For this, I am not giving you sentence starters. I'm starting to step back. Feel free to go back and rewind. But all of the parts are the same. Your claim is going to directly state that Miss Strangeworth either is a complex character or is not a complex character. Your statement could be that simple, but please feel free to make it better if you know how. After the claim comes the elaboration. Explain why she is or is not complex. I want you specifically using the criteria from your notes. If you were absent or didn't take notes, then ask a classmate to copy them down. Without this, I do not know if you truly understand what a complex character is. Out of all of that criteria, pick one thing that you think really shows that Miss Strangeworth either is or isn't complex. You're going to summarize that event and then pick a blended quote. You only get one, so make sure that it is the best piece of evidence that you have. Again, pause it, rewind, go back, and make sure that you have all the elements of a blended quote. Finally comes your reasoning. You've got to explain how or why this evidence proves, shows, or illustrates that Miss Strangeworth either is or is not a complex character. If you and your partner are having a struggle, then come and see me. But remember, 3 before me. You need to use 3 resources before you come and ask me a question. Now we're ready for our first attempt at writing about theme. Remember the notes that we took at the beginning of class. Theme is really all about how the story is resolved. What did the main character learn? Miss Strangeworth's ending was not good for her. Her roses are destroyed because of her actions. So what are you supposed to take away from this? What are you learning about human nature? What is the point that Shirley Jackson is trying to make? I don't care which theme that you talk about. There are several options, but pick one and make sure you have all the components in your third paragraph. The structure is exactly the same. For the claim sentence, feel free to use this sentence starter if you want. The theme of this story is, it's pretty straightforward and simple, but it works. If you feel you can do better, by all means, don't use this sentence starter. I've combined the elaboration and the evidence into one. You'll notice that you have more lines here because this functions a little bit differently. Here you're really going to explain what the resolution is, the fact that her roses were destroyed, what that proves. How does this lead to a lesson or a point about humanity that you, the reader, the audience, are supposed to take with you? You have one blended quote that you can use. The last sentence would be a perfect example, although you could make an argument for others. Finally, your reasoning. How does this quote, how does this evidence prove that this is the theme? Now you're ready for the conclusion. Okay, restating. Things that I can't stand is when you say the same exact sentence that you said in the first paragraph and the last. I didn't forget what you said. I don't have short-term memory loss. So make sure you're using different word choices, synonyms. Structure your sentence the same way. How do you do that? Never start with the same subject that you used. Flip the order around. Please, please, please do not say that is why or that is the reason and then say the same exact thing again. We're in high school now. We have to do better than that. Now, I know that this is your first real attempt, so I'll be forgiving, but make an honest attempt to say your thesis statement in a new way in the conclusion. And finally, we're ready for the very, very end of our essay, the closure. This is not something that is easily taught, and in all honesty, it's not something that's easily learned. It's your last sentence. It's your final impression. So you only have one chance to make a lasting impression, and this is it. To me, it would be kind of going back to that theme. What is your takeaway from reading this story? And what do you want the reader of your essay to take away from your writing?